All right, we're back. It's me and Bill. Episode number 3 for us. And we took a break for the holidays and New Year. How was your holidays? Good?
Saw a lot of movies.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
I don't even remember.
Did you see
Stranger Things. Yes, I saw Stranger Things.
the movie?
No, the
The season whatever?
season finale. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I liked one battle after another.
I saw
They
that
brought
too.
That back out. Did you see Secret Agent?
My favorite line in One Battle After Another is the daughter asking Sean Penn, "Why is your shirt so tight?"
Oh yeah. I like it when Sean Penn says to his daughter's date, he goes, "Anything you do to her, I'm gonna do to your whole family."
No, that was Leo.
Leonardo, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. That was great. Yeah, I went with my daughter. It was great. And she turns 21 tomorrow. So
Happy birthday.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll maybe have her back on sometime. So, enough with that blah blah blah. We've got fucking 3 albums we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the Butthole Surfers, Motörhead, and the Replacements officially. Let me see. So let's get on it in alphabetical order. This came out last May, live from the Leather Fly by the Butthole Surfers. So this is kind of a late one for us, but I didn't really hear a whole lot of people talking about it, and I wasn't doing the show, so it kind of went by my radar, right? And I'm certainly glad that I picked this up over at Love Wheel, because this record is awesome. So one of the last episodes I did with Sean, we talked about the Buttholes and the Big Boys had reissued their catalogs. And I was really down on the Buttholes reissue of Psychic Powerless, Another Man's Sack, because they had left off my favorite song, Negro Observer, which is like in my mind like a centerpiece to the album, you know. But that song, my door's open. That song is on this album, which came out last May. But dang, do you have any thoughts on this before I go into it?
It's ripping.
Oh,
It is like balls out. This it reminds you why you like these guys in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's not much info on there.
That's their tradition. Like on their classic albums, there's just no info on it. And that's almost my standard, because I'm putting out a record right now and I'm like, what would the Butthole Surfers do? Because I'm trying to put together a packet for it. Let me show you. Where did I put that thing? Oh, here we go. Anyway, there's a Yardwork single coming out. I've got like little stamps. Anyway, I'm gonna get sidetracked on that, but look for that 4-song single. So the Buttholes. Okay, so I've really worn out. I'm gonna call it their classic trilogy. Starting with Rembrandt Pussy Horse, Locust Abortion Technician, and Psychic Powerless coming before Rembrandt Pussy Horse. I think those are 3 5-star albums, you know.
What do you think of the Triple Live album?
It's awesome, and I really regret selling my copy when I was dead ass broke at one point.
And that one, the CD is even super valuable.
Yeah, there were a couple times I got really broke, you know, and I had to sell some records. but that's one I super regret selling.
Yeah.
Yes. So, having said that, I've those records I've heard a shit ton, and they do a lot of those songs on here. And I'm gonna tell you, I've really played this one a lot in the last few weeks, and I prefer these versions. First, I'm going to say the Leatherfly, don't bother looking it up. It's not a real club. I have my suspicions that this is not a real live album.
Yeah.
Like
It sounds so bright. It's such a good recording. And it's ripping.
Yeah.
It's so good. And this is like, it's got to be the 90s, right? They're on Capitol at this point. It sounds like these songs.
They don't say where it came from. It's very intentional when you read all the press that came out on it. It's not, they don't pinpoint any shows, right?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to, there's a good chance in my mind that it's not a real live album, that they kind of recorded these songs live. But anyway, maybe it is. The stars of the show for me, watching them live, always been Paul Leary and Jeff Pincus. And both of them really shine here. You can really hear clearly everything. Well, you can always hear, guitar always cuts through. So I'm a bass player, and bass cuts through sometimes. You know what I mean? On this album, you can hear every goddamn thing Jeff's doing.
Yeah.
You know? And it's...
I'm not going to disagree with you. It's
Uh-huh.
such a great recording. The one thing I read on Reddit,
Yeah.
is like all four sides are different clubs.
Is that what's up?
It's on Hateful. I don't know. Reddit. You can't believe Reddit.
Right.
Has an opinion.
Uh-huh. Well, okay. So I would agree with you that there's good chance most of this was recorded when they were touring Independent Worm Saloon, because there's a number of songs from that, and they sound better. John Paul Jones produced that album, and I always thought it had a good production, but everything kind of benefits here. Plus, maybe it's for me, like I said, I heard those albums so many times. Not Independent Worm Saloon as much, not nearly as much, not PO'd nearly as much, but the songs from those albums, they really shine live, and especially like fucking Dust Devil, oh my god, there's some really good ones. They do a lot from Some Dispute Over t-shirt sales. Yeah, dude, I got this scar right there at Butthole Surfers show. It was New Year's Eve 91 going into 92 at the Vatican.
Uh-huh.
Remember that place in Houston?
Yeah.
And it was Rockbusters, Bad Livers, and Butthole Surfers. And back of someone's head hit me in the pit, and I had to get like 4
Did you
stitches.
go to the Butthole Surfers that Don Walser opened?
Oh, was it at the Opera House?
It was awesome.
God,
it was so surreal.
Yeah, I remember seeing Bad Livers open at the Opera House.
I think that was the same show. Don was first. Maybe. I know Don opened.
That was kind of like when Pincus originally quit the band. Like before that, they would just come out and play goddamn every song you could think of that they'd ever done. Like, and then it's hard. Like, oh jeez, here's one I don't want to get into. I will. Like Nathan Calhoun, I totally admire as a musician. Replacing Pincus and the Butthole Surfers is a thankless job, in a way. I'm sure it pays well, but that's like a part that guy wrote for himself, you know what I mean? And it's like those songs are made by him for his style of bass playing, and it's hard to be that guy, There's a real chemistry there. I'm gonna say that same show we were talking about at the Opera House, I quit a band that night after coming back from that show because I realized that I was never going to get that tight with those guys. I was just like, we don't practice enough. We're not on the same page. I got to be with some people that we got to just play all the fucking time, until... And that being said, I still, like 30 years in, can't do a part-time band with people who live out of town. Right, like I gotta practice all the time, like, and I mean, whatever. At this age, that means once a week, It used to mean 3 times a week in the 90s, right? And I just could play. But let me say this, so I think all these are fresh versions for me of all these songs.
What's the last album called?
They do nothing from that, and it's called After the Astronaut.
Do you think any of those songs would sound good live? Because do you
Dracula
like that
from
album?
no.
Why not? The songs aren't as good.
It's
I like the
like
Dracula song.
electron. That song's good.
Yeah,
Dracula from Houston, and
but that if you don't like, but would they sound would being live sound better, or it wouldn't make a difference? Song you
I
can't
saw.
polish a turd.
Listen, I saw that tour and I had fun. I saw it at the WWF nightclub in New York City in Times Square. It was there, and it was fun. They had a DJ open for them. It was right after 9/11 in New York,
Wow.
which is just. I think that album also suffered from 9/11. You know, like
Would
a
you
lot
say
of
that
records
album is
did.
their cut the crap?
It is their Cut the Crap album. It is.
Because
Yeah.
it doesn't ever get reissue love or anything.
No, it's not that good. God, I remember one song even sounded
Actually,
like
you know what? That was a
Word
record store
Up
day.
by
They put it out.
Cameo.
They did put it on vinyl.
They did?
It's on vinyl. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that album like 1.5 times. So
I think you need to listen to it again.
yeah, dude, I need to go revisit it.
But we do digress.
This is awesome.
This reminds you why you love Butthole Surfers.
Everything. Well, man, what great playing. Everyone sounds great. Some of the songs, the older ones, Gibby's not even trying to sing them. He's just got the fucking effects on. He's going, wow, wow, wow,
Yeah.
and it's dope. They were just so impressive. Such an incredible band live. And this really shows you. And it's probably...
It's a good cover, too. I like the cover. The
I'm going
layout.
to say this is currently my favorite Butthole Surfers
I'm
record
gonna
to
agree.
listen to. Yeah.
I've played it like 7 times when I got it.
I've played it a lot, and it's a showstopper. And yeah, it's a great record. And if you slept on this one last May, go find yourself a copy.
You know where they got the name from?
Didn't Chris Gates name them?
Oh, that's new to me. I haven't heard that. I just thought it was about tubing.
I originally, when I was so this totally coincides when when I was like in 6th and 7th grade. It's like 1982, right? And I'm becoming aware of punk rock. I'm buying records in the record store, but I can't possibly go out and see a band for like 4, 5, 6 years, right? And but man, I mean, just being from Houston,
Your McLovin fake ID didn't get you in?
Oh, dude, I had a fake ID I got at the the flea market in Houston.
I had one of those.
And it said Texas Department of Identification. You had one of those too?
Yes, I did.
Okay, there was one bar on 6th Street that would honor that ID, and it was called Toulouse, right? And they had their house band was called Skank, right? And I know because I work with a guy who uncle was in Skank, and I talked about this. And I was so young. I was 16, 15, and the drinking age was 18, but I didn't know the names of any drinks, right? So, like, I'd stand around trying to look casual, and they'd say, "Can I help you?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm good." And then, like, some other dude would come to the bar and be like, "I'll have a gin and tonic." And then I'll be like, "That sounds good. I'll have one of those too." I know.
While you adjust your fake mustache.
Anyway, no. So Skank. So the dude I work with, his uncle is Bruce Hughes from Ugly Americans and all those Boy Dog Pondering, all those bands.
Yep.
So anyway, that was the band he was in 1986.
Okay.
Wasn't as good as the future bands coming up, but they were I just know them because they played at Toulouse, and that's the bar I could get into, yeah. But anyways, I got sidetracked on it. Texas Department of Identification. Everyone knew that was bullshit. All right. And that's where I got my first punk record. So, what I was getting at is I was aware of the Butthole Surfers because of their name. I could see it was like right off the bat, right? You know, so, and they were local. They were playing in Houston quite a bit, so you'd see them listed. And so, yeah, they were always on my radar from like the second I got into punk rock, you know. So, the next thing, alphabetical order, we are going to Motörhead. And this was a Record Store Day reissue that came out. And this had only been on CD. Live at Brixton, 1987. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this lineup of Motörhead is the 4-piece in between the two classic trios, right? And so they are touring in 1987 in support of the album Rock and Roll, featuring the songs Eat the Rich and Rock and Roll, which are on this. And the album before that was 1986's Orgasmatron, which that was the album I got on board with Motörhead on because of my age. And I know it's a weird lineup and it's a transitional album, and a lot of Motörhead fans, that's the one, love it or hate it album. Some people, okay, I'm firmly in the love it camp on Orgasmatron. I love every song on Orgasmatron. I was like, when rock and roll came out, I wasn't quite as thrilled. I gotta say, rock and roll has aged well. Now, Filthy Animal Taylor had come back on drums. He was gone for fucking, what was it, No Remorse. They did 4 new songs on No Remorse in 1984, and then Orgasmatron. They had Pete Gill from Saxon on drums, and then also, was it Brian Robertson who had replaced the original guitar player, Fastway?
Eddie Clark.
Fast Eddie Clark, right? He came in, and then he was only in for that one album. And then they got Phil Taylor, right? And so Phil Taylor steps up on Orgasmatron, but he was also on with Wurzel, who was playing a lot of leads. So this was a transitional period where Motörhead was a 4-piece that actually lasted like 4 or 5 albums, starting with Rock and Roll. Now, I gotta say, I think Filthy Animal Taylor was in for like 2 more albums.
Bastards fit in?
That's later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, God, man, that's
early 90s, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
So this is a show they did at Brixton. Can you name another band that did a live album at Brixton Academy? I know it's a classic venue.
No.
Oh, yeah. It's this one. I had it. Not your favorite band. I inherited a whole Faith No More collection. Faith No More live at Brixton Academy. Anyway, around a few years later.
No way I would have guessed that.
Yeah, right? So anyway, I haven't listened to this one. I like some Faith No More. But anyway, this show they were headlining. I looked it up on Setlist FM. The openers were Destruction and Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane's singer Blaze Bailey later went on to sing for who? Iron Maiden, and their 2 90s albums, Virtual 6 and the 2 albums from the 90s that people don't listen to, you know.
I know Wolfsbane. That's really funny.
Yeah, Wolfsbane and Destruction opened the show at Brixton, 87. Anyway, this is a great period. I would have loved to have seen them at this period because they're really focusing on rock and roll and Orgasmatron.
What do you think of the sound quality?
Once my ears adjusted to the sound quality, it certainly isn't the fake live album quality that is Butthole Surfers live at the Leather Fly.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, did they record that this year? That's amazing. Anyway, this is, but once my ears adjusted to it, I was totally on board.
Yeah.
You know? Let me see. They do Dr. Rock, Stay Clean, Trader, Metropolis, Dogs, Ace of Spades, Stone Deaf in the USA, Eat the Rich. You seen the video for Eat the Rich?
No.
Okay, there was a movie, Eat the Rich, that Lemmy was in at the same time. And they even got Michael Palin to do a voiceover on the album, you know? But in on the video for Eat the Rich, fucking Lemmy's riding in this limo, and the limo driver is Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones. He's like carting him around while he's chilling in the back of the limo. Anyway, Def Forever, Rock and Roll.
Catch up on all these 80s
just because you got the power. Anyway, I like this a lot. It made me want to listen to rock and roll even more. I like all the I have all the Motörhead
Name
albums.
a bad Motörhead record.
There's no bad Motörhead record.
Even the last one's good.
Fucking dope. They went out on a streak. I'm going to say their last 5 albums are superior to kind of the middle period they did. You know, they'd gotten to this thing where like it was all up to a certain quality and the songs are kind of interchangeable. But
no, I don't think Lemmy gets enough respect for the lyrics.
Oh no, really great lyricist. Yeah, above everything. I don't know. It's still the loudest show I've been to ever was, and a lot of people say this was Motörhead at the Back Room, 1998.
I saw that one.
Yeah, loud as shit, huh?
Yeah.
But I brought earplugs because I had been warned. I was working for Star Tickets. Deb came in from the back room and she was like, we rented the loudest PA, Motörhead sound checked and said it wasn't loud enough, and we had to go get the second loudest PA at Rock and Roll Rentals too and hook them both up together.
Oh my God.
Bring your earplugs, you know? So, with Nashville Pussy opening. Anyway.
Were you at the infamous Awesome show where he stopped and he couldn't play anymore? It was right before he did like third song.
No, see, I knew he was.
Scott Tellis was there. He described it to me. It just broke your heart. You know he didn't want to stop.
Dude, I knew he was in bad health, and I didn't, whatever. I have friends who went, and they're like, you'll never get a chance to see Motörhead again. And I was like, I've seen Motörhead a few times, and I don't want to see them like this, you know? Like, Lemmy should be, if this is how he wants to go out, good for him, and everyone go and be supportive. I can't watch this, you know?
I think they did a couple more shows in Europe after that.
Yeah.
That wasn't the last one. Austin wasn't the last one.
Well, I had already seen one from, like, fucking Vakin or Bloodshock or whatever in Europe, like, the summer before, where you could tell he thought he was having a heart attack on stage, you know? And it was scary to watch, and I'm just not on board with that. I can't watch it.
What's that? The Freak Brothers advertisement? Speed kills.
Well, dude, who else? He made it to like 70 using that shit.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, I've been pretty much California sober since fucking forever. Like, I made it to like 30, you know what I mean? Yeah. On like casual drinking, you know what I mean? For my liver was like, dude, you're not Lemmy, you know? It's like none of us. Anyway, sure. I mean, but this is great document of a good period of Motörhead. The 4-piece Motörhead second trio with Wurzel. No, it's not even the second trio.
What's your favorite live Motörhead? Was this rank up there with him, or do you like the Hammersmith?
Oh, well, you'd have to go with the Hammersmith.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It is really good.
But also, get this one. Yeah, But, okay, how about recommending later non-classic trio Motörhead albums? Like, can't be Ace of Spades or Overkill. I really like Aftershock.
Yeah, Aftershock.
I like, what's the one? Snakebite Love is actually
good.
Sacrifice is great.
Yeah.
Motorizer is great. I
remember that cover.
Yeah, that's a song called Rock Out. They have a video on it.
They recently, it was during COVID, when I had the COVID money, that I they put out all the '90s ones that never made it to vinyl, or and every one of them is great.
Yeah.
So I bought them all.
I think the tour did, like, I had to go look up what album they were supporting in '98 when we saw them. Because I remember Lemmy at one point goes, here's a song from our new album that none of y'all have heard. I mean, he's like, God damn. And I think it was Kiss of Death was the album they were touring at the time. Which, if I had to go through and rank the Motörhead albums, doesn't stick. There's a few that don't really stick out in my mind, but you put them on and they're fine. They're great. They're actually doing something a little different. I'm going to go with my least favorite. I didn't like the period right after this. Everyone seems to like 1916. I'm not wild on that album, and I don't like the one after it, Bastards, that much. Those two would, where they were at the highest visibility, would probably be my bottom two Motörhead albums. But
I've been listening to Bastards by coincidence lately.
It's not a bad album. Yeah. Like, it's totally listenable.
Yeah.
But it's not a great album. It's not even a good Motörhead album. I don't Slash show up on it, or there's a few.
Well, there's a song that sounds like a hair metal chorus.
I
can't remember it's a single.
Yeah, and then they kind of bottomed out after that, where they put out, I think at one point they were on like a German label only, but they clawed their way back.
And what was the reason? What was the final straw for Fast Eddie Clark?
He didn't want to play with Wendy O. Williams.
The Stand By Your Man.
Yeah, that was the song.
That was the final straw.
Mixing Stand By Your Man. He's like, why the F are we doing this? She can't sing. Yeah, He's like, why do we got to do a duet with whoever Lemmy's shagging at the time? It's like.
That's a. I mean, did you read White Line Fever, his Lemmy's book? Oh, it's quite a read.
Oh, I've seen excerpts of it. Like,
it's really good.
The part where
he's talking about that. He goes, I wanted to do some things different. He's proud of his duet with Ozzy.
He made more money from Ozzy than he made from Motörhead.
Yeah, that checks out.
Just ghostwriting for Ozzy.
Sure.
Specifically, the song "Mama, I'm Coming Home" was by far his biggest paycheck. Yeah. Anyway, totally worth checking out. Second best live Motörhead album, possibly.
I mean, there's
what? Because after that,
there's a later period one.
The later period ones, I think of as concert DVDs. You know what I mean? The best one is there's like a 25th anniversary concert, and it's in a club somewhere, like a big nightclub in Europe. And for the encore, they do a total overkill version of Overkill, the song, and they have Fast Eddie Clark is out there with them playing guitar on top of Phil Taylor. Maybe, I don't think they have Brian Robertson, but fucking Brian May is out there playing it with them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's total overkill.
That reminds me, I forgot that the singer of Flogging Molly is the singer from Fastway.
Fastway had a few different singers.
Okay.
Are you sure about? Because I think
now you're making me.
Okay, so
doubt myself. But I think so.
I'm gonna give you I'm sorry. I'm gonna give you Pete Way's autobiography.
Okay.
It is scandalous.
I'll totally read it.
Okay. Yeah. It is. I love UFO. He lived it. I have so much UFO here. I'm a huge fan.
Me too.
Okay, so his
for another time.
His autobiography. We could have a book club episode after you read.
Oh
that,
yeah, well you gotta get the Lemmy book.
It is shocking.
The Lemmy book is a real quick read, by the way.
Okay, so that's it on Motörhead. Okay, right. We are rambling today. We're 30 minutes in. So, how many of y'all are listening to this? Give it a like if you're trying to get to sleep and we're just soothing you to sleep. Anyway, so here's the triple deluxe. This is the second deluxe reissue of Let It Be. Didn't one come out 2020, I believe. Before that,
I think it was 2008.
2008 reissue, and some of these songs are on that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
There are some unreleased stuff on here, but yeah, a lot of it's the same stuff from the Rhino reissue.
Okay, so this has got a remastered version of the original album, Let It Be. Now, where do you rank Let It Be in the Replacements catalog?
Well, that's kind of the obvious one to like the most. I mean, I really am partial to Tim because that's when I first got into him.
Yeah.
I backtracked after that.
Right.
But this is...
I heard Tim Tim first.
This is
a superior album. And...
it's when he's like really the songwriter coming to him. Like the other...
Yeah.
More punk rock and childish and amazing records. But this is leading to Tim.
It's a spectacular album. It's better than Tim. It's Bob Stinson really shines on his lead guitar playing on this.
He does.
Paul Westerberg's songwriting has really matured. I've got a few.
I mean, this has Answering Machine.
Yeah, and Unsatisfied, and okay. So here's what I was eventually going to get to. My scandalous take on this. Because there's a lot of... Okay, let me get at it. So the first disc is got Let It Be. It's remastered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it sounds more sparkly, more clear. You know? It is Let It Be. I do like the remastered. It's got a little, like, clearer HD shine to it. I don't know what it's got, but I like it, you know?
I have a shitty stereo system, so I couldn't tell the difference.
You can, okay, so the differences are subtle, right?
Yeah.
but I could hear them. It's not, I'm not as bowled over as I was by all the remastered Ramones stuff that came out. Their first few albums.
The last time I noticed something different from remastering was the Scratch Acid box set. That was dramatically different.
Oh. I gotta go back and listen. I had the reissues there. Okay, so the second disc. Oh boy, look at that! Because I've got this on CD. The second disc is bonus outtakes and B-sides from the era, and that's the one where a lot of this stuff was probably. Oh, look at that book! Yeah.
So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs that are new.
Yeah.
Or haven't been released before.
And
all these other were on the
oh, okay. So after that,
the Let It Be Expanded. 2008.
Okay, and a lot of those are there's some good songs like Temptation Eyes. The cover of Heartbeat, It's a Love Beat is great. And a lot of it are earlier demos of songs that wound up on the album that the lyrics are still kind of coming together for Unsatisfied.
I love the cover of 20th Century Boy.
Oh yeah, T-Rex, 20th Century Boy. I'd heard them play that. The one time I saw the Replacements, I walked out. And it was, speaking of last albums that weren't good, we were going off on the buttholes. You know what album I enjoy less than that is All Shook Down by the Replacements, you know? And were you at that show at the fucking Texas Union Ballroom?
No, but I was at I was at that one.
Longhorn, okay.
I was at the Lawndale show where in Houston.
Right,
where
okay.
They literally stopped in like 4 songs in, and Westbrook grabbed a wad full of cash from his pocket and said, "Do you want your money back?" And started throwing it in.
Oh, yeah. No, this was like 2 original members. They were just, it was so lifeless. I did not listen to the Replacements.
Westerberg came by Waterloo and did a signing there. But the song, the second track on All Shut Down, I really like. The bridge is killer. And I told him that, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. Oh, you mean that T-Rex sounding thing? And that's a good song. But it should have been it was supposed to be a Westerberg solo album.
Yeah, I do like Don't Tell a Soul.
Yeah,
I think that's a
great
good record.
Especially when they put out that extra version, there's a totally different.
Really?
Yeah, and the lives in concentrated that came with that. That's really good too. I like All Shook Down, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's not their. That's not their cut to crap.
It's not okay. It
probably should have been a Paul Westerberg solo album, but
I just thought that, god damn, that fucking merry-go-round of dreams is such a, like, it just pissed me off. It could have been a Spin Doctors song. You know what I mean? It was like,
I disagree.
The magazine she
this
flips through is a special double issue.
It's Replacements
Smells
Light.
like perfume. She leaves it on the plane. She's got the fire in her eyes. Merry-go-round.
I like your version.
Anyway, so for me, the fucking the star of the show on this package is disc 3, live from the Cubby Bear on my 14th birthday, August 17th, 1984. I got hip to Replacements about a year after this. That's a great set. They are tighter.
Yeah,
shit.
The recording is so, but they're tight as hell. And it's rare, you had to appreciate them when they were good.
Okay, so yeah, and
it's like seeing the faces, you never.
This is like the redemption disc for. I know Westerberg said he hates when the shit hits the fans. Right.
Yes.
And because there's a lot of aborted, they're drunk and they're trying to play all these covers. And they're not making them. They're getting like 30 seconds through all the covers.
Yeah.
And then this was it's such a train wreck set that like people loved it and it widely, bootlegged, and then they officially put it out on cassette.
I met the guy that recorded that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's in Oklahoma.
Yep.
At like a church or something? No, at a club? Anyway.
I don't remember.
So anyway, in this set from the Cubby Bear in Chicago, they actually get through all those songs.
Yeah, and there's a couple of the. I mean, that was their tradition. They would try to do covers right there and then and figure them out.
Yeah.
And, but there's some of those on here.
Yeah, they do. Can't Get Enough Your Love.
Yeah.
They do. 20th Century Boy, Hitchin' a Ride. Yep. Who did Hitchin' a Ride originally? Hitchin' a Ride.
That's them.
No. They do. Oh, you know what's a cover? The second song is a cover of. Left in the Dark is a Minneapolis band called the Vertebrats.
Oh, okay.
That had an early single out that predates the Replacements. Look, Hitchin' a Ride. Look it up. It's not them.
Oh,
it's
Murray Calendar.
It's from 1970.
Oh, okay.
It's an oldie song you've heard a bunch of times, and I'm blanking on the. And then Heartbeat, It's Love Beat is the DeFranco family.
And Can't Get Enough.
Is Bad Company.
Yep.
Yeah. No. So and then they do the Beach Boys, Help Me Rhonda.
Yeah.
And Little GTO, straight into Little GTO.
Yeah.
And man, so. Kind of like the Motörhead album we were talking about, they're really focusing on the last 2 albums. So when I asked Bill what his favorite Replacements album, Let It Be is kind of the real obvious choice among Replacements fans. But if there's one that's really coming up on it for me, it's Hootenanny, the album before it. I have it's punkier, and I've got I think it's a 5-star album, Hootenanny.
Which is the one that has the cops shutting down the party?
That's Stink.
Oh, that's Stink.
Yeah, and that's before the song Kids Don't Follow. And my favorite part of this live set from the Cubby Bear is someone in the audience just goes, "Kids Don't Follow," and Paul Westerberg goes, "Kids Don't Follow." And as soon as he says it, the band doesn't even like count it in. They just start playing it like, it's just like. They were ready to go on that request, So it's a good recording of the band at their peak form, as far as I'm concerned. Like this was when I would have most wanted to see them.
It's the final Stinson album, even though there is
he's on Tim.
He's on Tim, but kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, Westerberg, I think, did a lot of replacement guitar, but the Tim reissue has more Stinson.
Oh, okay. So here's a few theories I have. One is the song "Androgynous" is probably Paul Westerberg's most well-written song, to the point that I'm starting to suspect he didn't write it. And I would be pissed if I was watching this and I was Paul Westerberg. But I'm like, it really is so different from the other songs that I start to question, like, what is the true origin of this song? You know what I mean? Because one, it's on piano. There's no other song on piano in the whole fucking catalog that I can think of. And the other thing that got me thinking about this is that when you hear the demo versions of the other songs, that's lyrics aren't quite as sharp and ahead of their time as Androgynous is. The lyrics are coming together. He's still got like kind of throwaway rhymes, and he doesn't really know, like the demo for 16 Blue, which is up there in like their top songs, right? But the demo for Androgynous, every single word is there, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's fully written and it's on piano, you know? And it's such a well-written song that, like, Joan Jett has had it in her set for 30 years.
It's on her hit list, her hit list covers album.
It doesn't match the rest of the songs. And I'm just like, part of my mind is like, okay, what is the story with this song?
One thing I got from the liner notes that I didn't really know is Westerberg grew up with strong female influence, you know, like sisters and stuff. Yeah. So he's very sensitive to the female point of view in a lot of his songs, and that's kind of the key to the sensitivity of a lot of the songs. Like from Tim on,
I can see his like rock and roll perspective, but then all of a sudden we're on a Leonard Cohen level. You know what I mean? Which is just like super wise beyond your years. Like that song was so ahead of its time. Like no one was singing that in 1984. I mean, there was Androgynous. So I'm sure we've got Boy George on MTV. We've got Marilyn. We've got Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Just trying to put yourself in 1984 mindset. Well, I was in junior high, so I was totally having a different experience, you know?
You were terrible back then.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I don't know that for a fact.
So anyway, I just think, God, is there a ghostwriter on this song? What is the story? So anyway, it totally, that's in my mind how much that song stands out from the rest of the sound, from the whole rest of the catalog, right? He did an album years later that was a piano album. Do you remember that? It was like his third.
Grandpa Boy?
No, before that, it was called...
Saccharin? The first one's the 12 songs, then Saccharin.
I think it's the third solo album.
I can't remember the name of it.
But I think it flopped hard. And
they all kind of did.
He did a piano album. Dude, I've walked out of Paul Westerberg twice. When the Motards were getting started, like 94, I think Westerberg was supporting his second solo album. And Paul fucking won tickets on like KGSR call-in, right? And so he's like, you want to go to see Paul Westerberg? I was like, sure. And we went, and there were a couple... I think he played, the high point for me is I think he played Valentine from Pleased to Meet Me, and I enjoyed that. But I couldn't stop thinking how much I didn't like the rest of the band. They were all like kind of session-y musicians, you know what I mean? And then...
I mean, you can make, out of all the solo stuff, including Grandpa Boy, you could make a really good comp.
Okay, was the album called Sucane Gratification?
That's the second one. That's the Capitol Records one.
I think that's the piano record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 12 songs is is still on Sire, I believe.
Mm.
And then they boot him off, and he's on Capitol.
Oh yeah. Dude, there was this dude I used to watch at big shows back then who was at the Paul Westerberg show because there was a lot of room there. It was at the Austin Music Hall, and it was like half sold. And there was this dude who like was wearing wind shorts and a tank top, and he was doing the real kind of hippie self-involved dancing where he was like skipping back and forth with jazz hands, you know, like, and I've seen this guy at a few shows, and you always wind up trying to dance like him. You know, it's kind of a sport. But well, anyway,
the Replacements are a reason for me to really not like Pearl Jam, because when they did the reunion show at ACL Fest, they were right before Pearl Jam, and they were the fans wearing Pearl Jam shirts, by the way, were so tight up front that you could not get up close. And that's also so that really made me mad. And, you know, of course, those average Pearl Jam fan, probably don't even know these guys.
Dude.
And that's the one that Paul's back was out. So, like, halfway through this show, he's in a hammock, laying down playing because his back's messed up.
That doesn't sound good at all.
I enjoyed it, though, because it was like, this is the last time I'm going to see him and Tommy up there doing, you know.
Well, how about when fucking the 90s when Velvet Underground got back together and their one tour was opening for U2 in fucking stadiums in Europe? You know? It's like, well, I'm sure that's the highest paid gig.
They got in a fight. That's why America was robbed of that tour. Lou prima donna'd, and you know, didn't want to continue with the tour, which is too bad because we didn't get a chance to see him over here. It was only in the Europe that.
Well, I remember reading that he did the same thing that pissed everyone off when they did Loaded, and they have a band mixing session, and then Lou schedules his own mixing session after it, making the band mixing session for whatever they're recording irrelevant because Lou's going to go back in a private mixing session and remix all of it. Which
might have come out on the later reissues, but that's the deal. Loaded, Lou didn't have anything to do with production.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah.
There was something where it pissed everyone off, and then he did it again, and they were scheduled to go record an MTV Unplugged, is what they were supposed to do. The next thing they were supposed to do when they had a falling out. But Sterling Morrison had cancer, right? And they were... So when I first moved to Austin in 1986, I was 15, and just getting into Velvet Underground. Sterling Morrison was an assistant professor at University of Texas, and that was like the person like I always wanted to meet. There a bunch of us. Like, you met him?
A coworker of mine, lovely person, Stuart, was friends with Sterling's girlfriend.
Oh, really?
And I got to go to a dinner party.
Oh, really?
And one of my brags is Sterling Morrison, after the dinner party, who was very drunk, gave me a ride home.
Oh.
Very scary ride.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's a scary ride home? Well, that's awesome.
I'm living to tell the tale. But,
what year was this?
Shoot. I think it was before the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, you know.
Early 90s?
Yeah. Middle to early 90s.
Well, that's a great story, Bill. That's really cool.
Yeah, and he's kind of messing with me at the party, you know. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I was warned, don't bring up Blue, so I didn't.
Really?
I didn't bring up Velvet Underground.
I had a few stints.
He's very fun to talk to.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did he tell you any stories from back in the day?
Nope.
Okay, I'll make this quick, okay? I had a short stint where I was Cheetah Chrome's designated driver because the woman I was dating was his girlfriend's best friend, and he didn't have a license at the time, so I drive him to his shows. And he would tell me he knew that he had to tell me stories because I would have to drive out to Fluke.
He's always been a chatty Cathy from what I hear.
Yes. Anyway, he told me all these stories, and it was funny because, like, so anything I'd be like, you know, when's the first time you saw the Ramones or whatever, you know, and he'd go off and tell you, blah, 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 blah. You ever see the Stooges? Blah, 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 blah. You know, so anyway, great stories. And then I get back in the car with my old girlfriend, And I'm like, God damn, he's got so many good stories. He should write a book. And she's like, I'm so glad you didn't say that. You didn't see the book on his mantelpiece, you know? And I was like, and then so I get to work and flipping burgers with Aaron at Billy's, and I was like telling him about this, and he's like, oh, I read his book. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, he told me all these crazy stories. Tell me if they're in the book. And then I'd started like, the first time the Ramones went to Cleveland, he's like, this is totally in the book, but tell me your version. I want to hear it. You know, it's like I get one sentence into the story, and he'd be like, also totally in the book. You know, it's I didn't hear anything, so I got the book kind of recounted to me by Cheetah, which is awesome, and we we really got there.
I'm
from
looking
here.
forward to this Pete Way book.
Oh, dude. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that for a while. So yeah, disc 3. Go. Okay, so if you're going to the streaming or whatever, go straight to disc 3 and check out the live one on this. Good. It is smoking.
It's a good show.
It's an excellent document.
It really is.
Okay. So anyway, I got a few things I want to run through before we go off for next week. One thing is we went through the holiday season. And I went to a party, and I got a record that we might be talking about. It's the new ST37 record I got as a White Elephant gift indirectly from Lisa Cameron, and who plays drums for ST37. And I've really enjoyed this. And then we played with ST37 after this Yard Work did, and it was great. And Bill has it too, so we might be talking about that. Bill played on it.
I'm a member of Pushing Wind, the horn section that's on one song. So I definitely love this album. I love it even without Pushing Wind. It's a really good. It's one of their best.
So you played trumpet on it.
I played trumpet, yes.
So
me and a bunch of other horn players.
ST37's first show was opening for the Def MFs in 1987
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is the Cave Club. I'm not sure what club is that. Anyway,
and what are they named? What are they named after?
They're Chrome songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and here they are in this pool. Anyway, so that's good.
It was my first time to realize about the writer Ballard. I didn't know he was the last emperor in a lot of dystopian type novels. That's the whole point of this.
I did not know that. Now I do. Well, I'm going to have to listen to it again. See, you're great with reading them notes. You probably did better in school. All right, I got this Neil Young box set for cheap, and it's disc 13, 14, 20, and 21. Neil does what he wants to do.
But it's just basically this. It's just the weirdo reprise records, and this is the reason you want this on vinyl, because this was an import only.
Yeah.
And this is right before he started, like right before Freedom. Some of the songs on here are on Freedom.
Yeah. El Dorado.
El Dorado is amazing. He's got Sonic Youth in the Brain at this point.
Yeah.
Arc Weld and all that stuff. That's what led to that. These are all unique weirdo records. This was always in the cutout. Actually,
these two are always in the cutout. Yeah. And I'd never listened to these.
Right.
And
good, though.
None of the songs from this made it. I think one song from this made it to Decade, the greatest hits album, which would be Captain Kennedy. Right. And then, is that on this?
No, these are after Decade.
God damn. Yeah, okay. Here's my take on this. I've now bought 2 copies of This Note's For You from 1988, which anytime you go YouTube, go ranking the albums, Neil Young. We're going to start at the bottom of the pile. Guaranteed, they talk about this album, right? At the bottom. I'm here to tell you it doesn't suck. I've bought 2 copies of it, and this is a fine album. This Note's For You. Now the song, This Note's For You, got played a lot at the time, and had a video that won like video of the year or whatever.
It was being a little preachy, but that's when people were getting sponsored by, Heineken or whatever, and that's what he's...
This Note's For You is a fine album. It's got a good horn section. You know what it reminded me of is this isn't gonna sound like a good one, but it sounds like the Blues Brothers band is backing him up, which was all stellar musicians. It's got a huge horn section.
His lowest point, and probably one of the reasons he got sued by Geffen, is Landing on Water.
Yeah,
and that's a real synthy
1986.
Record. It's a real synthy record. I think there's some really good songs on there, but that's what, Landing on. This is better than Landing on Water, but
Yeah. Weight of the World.
Yeah.
Was on, and Shocking Pinks was right before that.
That's after the country album. Geffen said, "Give us a Neil Young rocking record," and that's what he did. He did the Shocking Pinks. You want rock and roll?
And he gave him a doo-wop record. Yeah.
Which has "Wandering," which is a beautiful song, and that "Wandering" goes back to the early '70s.
Okay, we're getting into a long episode, but I also gotta say this is one of the coolest packages ever. It's a box set, a total impulse buy for me. Hollywood Bowl 100, and it's as you can see to celebrate 100 years of the Hollywood Bowl, and I'm a classical music fan. I have season tickets to symphony, and so I wanted to hear. I've
been to the symphony.
No, I'm going tonight. They're gonna do Horse to the Planets, right? But
there's only one way to appreciate the symphony, and that's live.
Well, on this record, you can actually hear it's an outdoor venue. On some of these classical sides, you can hear the crickets, which is cool for me. But anyway, there's a few sides of classical. There's some sides of like them doing film music. There's like big band jazz sides. The two ones I haven't listened to are the pop rock sides because I really don't care. But like the Broadway, I like show tunes too. So there's a lot of like classic show tunes. The jazz side actually is represented by James Brown on the cover. But anyway, this is a really nice package, and I listened, and it's beautiful recordings mastered at Abbey Road. And if you see this one on sale, you might check it out. I've really enjoyed listening to it. And I had some quality impulse buys in the Christmas season with bonus money. All right, so dang, we've gone 57 minutes. That was a good episode, Bill. Thanks so much.
All right.
So we're gonna be back next week, and I'm not sure what we're talking about, but
cut the crap.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about everyone's Jump the Shark albums. Yeah,
I'm so down for that.
So we're going to talk about Replacements, All Shook Down, Butthole Surfers, After the Astronaut, The Clash, Cut the Crap. The Cars, Door to Door. We're going to talk about that.
That's a good one. Because they redeemed themselves. The final album is good. I like that album a lot.
Yeah, totally. So, all right. So, thank you so much for joining us once again. If you're still with us, if you aren't asleep already, then try to watch some true crime videos or something. Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye.